What's going on, y'all? It's J Smoke Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Bringing you guys another top 5 performances video, just keeping it general content, you know what I'm saying? A lot of silliness is going on in battle rap right now, a lot of disturbingness, you know what I'm saying? Things that need to be figured out, but over here we keep it battles. And somebody who's had a fantastic year this year, Shotgun Suge, been able to do a battler spotlight, going over his stumbles battle in his year a little bit. And with, the end of his this great 2022 campaign coming to an end, I thought that it would be dope to highlight his top 5 performances. Just think that throughout Suge's career, there has been spottiness on the win-loss side. I remember when I came in as a young teenager watching this, I gave Suge a lot of hell, man. I used to give Suge a lot of shit. But if you look past just the win-losses, there's still great wins in here. He has put on classic footage, and he is a trendsetter and a trailblazer in terms of some elements of performativeness in battle rap. Obviously, kind of the physicality and touching your opponent. But when you really think bully ball battle rap, if Suge's not the first name that comes to your mind, he's one of the first two. Maybe you throw math in there or something of that nature. But just wanted to highlight, what I believe is his top 5 performances ever. So usual format, we're going to go over some honorable mentions that just missed the list. Maybe they really aren't some of his best. Maybe they're some of my personal favorites. And then a few of them, I think, just missed the list. And then from there, we'll be going 5 to 1, going over, in my opinion, the best 5 Suge performances of his career to this point. So without further ado, let's get into the honorable mentions. So, starting off with the honorable mentions, we're just going to fire off a few here. And the first one I want to mention is Briz Rothstein, when Shotgun Suge battled Briz on the Unfinished Business card. A pretty solid, debatable battle, as a lot of Suge battles, especially, I'd say, pre-2018. I think now his pen is better than ever, and that's been the biggest elevation of his game. But we all know that, as I said in the beginning, aggression and performance has always been the forefront, and at one point, you could argue that was kind of the style as a whole. So camera quality, battles live in the building compared to in camera, tended to age bad for Suge. And Briz is a battle that he won pretty clear in the building. I wasn't in the building, but I remember from all the in the building recaps how we kind of got him. Briz was decent. And when the battle came out, a lot of people had Briz. I do think it is a debatable battle. I think that really comes down to the first round. Briz has an incredible second. Suge has a very, very good third. And I think that it's just a solid debatable. So even though it edged more in the debatable direction, just for what Briz turned out to be, and I think Suge just having, the third round that he did in that battle, which was great. Something that Suge's always had, is real talk thirds. Kind of similar in the vein of a Geechee, maybe not done to that high a magnitude climbing the ladder, but Suge does have a plethora of good third rounds that we'll be going over. So that was the first honorable mention. The second battle to mention is versus Heartless. Early smack days. You got to watch this one round by round to get through it. I think it's very, a classic Suge performance. Once again, before anything, this man had aggression. And it's a battle where Heartless, who was a pretty formidable puncher at the time, always will be kind of lost in the history of battle rap, but was a very competitive puncher. Beat Calico, for those that don't know, probably most famously. But another battle that ages a little differently, but even though you get to appreciate Heartless bar for bar more, I still think that Suge clearly won this battle. Really one of the first iterations of that. Keep shooting her, shoot his girl, keep shooting her till her eyes roll back like I hit the G-spot. Thought that was fire, man. Early good Suge work, early haymakers, and it's just even though battle rap was always a street, obviously comes from the streets and is a street element format, there was a different type of grittiness that Suge was able to bring. While a lot of these dudes were real, rapping back then, Suge really made you feel his material through things besides the material itself. One of the, like I said, delivery. He's one of the forefathers of just really making delivery as important as it is in battle rap. So that's why the Heartless battle makes the list. And as for the final 2 battles to mention here, one that you guys might be shocked is not on the list is Shotgun Suge versus Av. Now, his first versus Av, where I'll do construction work on Av with the jackhammer, is obviously probably his biggest haymaker of all time. His first round versus Av is damn near perfect, and he was up a dominant 1-0. But I believe on that year Champion of the Year panel, it got addressed as a clear win for Suge and this and that. I would almost say not only is it it's Av did better than people thought, but I think Av kind of clearly won the second and the third. I think that's been a little bit more of a popular opinion as time went on, is as good as Suge's first was. And his second and his third are good too. Av really leaves Earth. Bar for bar, it's not close. Then even then, there's spottiness and dry spots really in Suge's second and third. But it just goes to show, while I do have him losing, has to be mentioned here just for how powerful that first round is. Incredible all-time first round and one of the better in Gnome history. And that leaves us with the final honorable mention, which is his battle versus T-Top. Dope battle, another one that on cam was a little closer, but to me has always stuck true to Suge Clear. While I thought T-Top had a good second round, I thought Suge obviously has, similar to his Av battle, a masterful first round, and then has a real talk third that really just brings it all together and brings it all home. Performance, one of his better written performances as well, and just everything that you could want from Suge was at 100, and that's why his clear win as T-Top is the last honorable mention. Without further ado, let's get into the top 5. So, starting out at number 5, we have Suge's performance on the first volume card versus Mike P. A performance that I won't say is underrated, I think gets all the love it deserves, but it's funny enough just because Suge is so revered as a big stage battler, big stage, not meant for the small rooms. And while I think it's more about stylistically why he's had problems in the small rooms, and he's taking small room battles versus pen battlers at that. I actually think Suge himself is pretty good in a small room, and I think the volume series, which he's been fairly consistent on, we're going to get to another volume battle here in a second, he has been good. While he has had losses, like I said, to Rum Nitty, that wasn't a bad performance. And I've seen him get beat on the stage by the likes of JC, you know what I'm saying, who is considered small room. So I think a lot of people say small room, big room. At the end of the day, while it might be advantageous, it really just comes down to how they are that day and how they are stylistically in that matchup more than anything. I think sometimes you put a little too much emphasis on the room. And I think this is a perfect example of that going into the battle. Mike P, with his more pure rapping style and the way he rapped in the volume, might have been better in a caffeine room. Funny enough, I think Mike was a couple years early on that, kind of wanting to rap straight through his material. But you would think that Mike P would have fared better going into the battle in a small room. And while Mike has a good first, don't give a shotgun to a white boy when he's going through some shit, is actually one of Mike's better quotables really ever. And he has good material all throughout. Not only is Suge outperforming him, his performance is hitting strong in a small room, because performance doesn't go away in small room, people. I know that's kind of like, the pens get an advantage, yes, but performance can look very, very good on camera. Suge toward a couple people that are great examples of that in a small room. But not only that, he's really writing great material. One of the first people to flip Mike's last name as Police. It's really policey, but this is battle rap. We know how things go. So the first one to start, all those police flips, overall, just really barking on them. Different flow patterns. I mean, Suge is a great rapper. You see the delivery, you see the written content at a pretty high level, as well as the real talk, kind of bullying him a little bit. And while it was a very good material, Mike, you could really debate Suge won this battle 2-1, if not 3-0. I know a lot of people, as we talk about with these Suge performances, it's easy to go back and have another guy bar for bar, but Suge does so many things outside of just the material that still matter. His delivery is one of the best in battle rap history, and when he's got his flow pockets hitting, he's landing every about 2 to 4. That's a lot of momentum to get down. So that's why the first performance of the volume versus Mike P is number 5. And right from there, we can jump into number 4, which is Suge's most recent performance, also in a volume on volume 10 versus VERB. Now, yes, it just happened. People could say recency bias, and maybe that is. Maybe you prefer the Av or T-Top. I wouldn't be surprised, but to me, I think, once again, more than anything, when it comes to this VERB battle, it's something I talked about earlier in the video where it's just the rise in material. I mean, when you look at Suge's second round versus VERB, I had him losing the first round pretty clear. You know what I'm saying? This isn't some dominant performance, but versus VERB, kind of like a milestone look for him, a God-tier-esque look. And the second round that he brought is just probably the most well-written round of Suge's career. He might have better rounds performance-wise and all that, but just in terms of the quotables, I'll cook him in half the time like an air fryer, staying on top of VERB like Conjunction Junction, the Dunkin' Don't America runs on Dunkin', the 6 holes in a box. Oh my God, I'll cook him at half the time like an air fry. Just over and over, I'll put A on a shirt like a chipmunk. Then you get into the third round, trying to get that monkey off my bat like Hacker. I could go on and on and on, just listen to the quotables, the pace. I mean, truly in 2022, it's possibly the best we've ever seen Shotgun Suge as a battle rapper, and performances like this show this. Big time moment versus a good VERB. I have him winning pretty comfortably. I know people were saying it's debatable. I had him winning the second, the third. Although the second's close, I think it's still clear. Amazing content, one of the best written Suges to date, and that's why it's number 4 on the list. So, as for the top three here, and at number three, we have a New Jersey versus New Jersey matchup. Shotgun Suge versus Twerk on Gnome 8. Now, funny enough, this is also one of the best Twerk performances of all time. And for anyone that has seen my top 5 Twerk performances video, quick spoiler here, I do have Twerk clearly winning this battle. So how could I have a battle where I kind of a clear winner that's not Suge and have it as Suge's best performance? Really simple. This is a pretty classic battle, to the point that to make a classic, 2 guys have to bring 6 rounds of great. And if you just look at Suge's 3 rounds here, although he might not be on the winning side to most people, it's just no denying how great his performance is. I had to show Lil Bro the ropes now. I got to hang you from him. Thought his What's Your Life Like was dope. And I just thought he really stood toe-to-toe. The dunk in, the back and forth. Overall, these two create like one of those giant, like this literally feels like a Titan battle. Also, they had great chemistry in the 2-on-2 we saw in Summer Impact. So in a weird way, it's like you take that chemistry but put it against each other stylistically and you still get amazingness. Obviously, Twerk, I think the New Jersey pride there of being the younger New Jersey cat brought that performance out of Suge for him to do that. And pretty well-written performance, you know what I'm saying? Which is like all these, they have to be pretty well-written to make, you can't have bad writing and make a top performance, but I just think Suge has dealt with so much criticism from me, you know what I'm saying, from many different people throughout his career about writing. So when you have these instances of amazing writing in big moments versus big competition, I need to say it 1,000 times. It's one of his best writing performances. So people realize, yes, Suge has had moments in his career where he relied on the physicality over the bars, sometimes the choking, the dry spots, but when he applies himself, he can write extremely good and creative material, and all these performances, including this Twerk one, is proof of that. So, like I said, while you could even debate that Suge didn't win a round, this to me was battle of the night on Gnome 8. I mean, really, really amazing battle. Great back and forth and a net positive for both gentlemen, and that's why it makes number 3 at the list, which leads us into a runner-up, which, funny enough, will be a similar type of conversation on the following Gnome, as Suge always seems to do, bringing these good Gnome performances. Shotgun Suge would battle Pat Stay on Gnome 9. And this is another battle, and long live, you know what I'm saying, the great Pat Stay. Rip, we miss you, brother, always. And he gave us an absolute masterclass performance, and another, if not a classic, a borderline classic battle on, in my opinion, the best card in battle rap history. These two went at it again. A little bit of the stature, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's an optics thing, but another, tall guy. They're doing the Duncan, this and that. Another battle of the Titans in a way. Pat in the flower suit. So many things to remember about this battle. And once again, Suge, what he thought he had the luck of the Irish, this St. Paddy's Day, I really like that. Over the Duncan on him, a couple other bars in there that I'm not, saying, the tons and tons of haymakers from this battle going both ways. Obviously, Pat Stay is able to freestyle back, angle back a little bit. I think the freestyle at the end of his second, a theater actor. I hit shotgun with the pump fake. Both of them have so many quotables going either way. And for Suge, once again, amazing written performance. And when he is able to have the writing meet the high-level performance, that's why you get two extremely replayable values like Pat Stay and Twerk, where although you might not have Suge on the winning end of it, he no doubt is a humongous contributor to why the battle is so good. They're undoubtedly two of the best sets of 3 rounds that he's ever performed in his career, and that is why I have his performance versus Pat Stay as the runner-up to the best performance of all time in Suge's career. And at number 1, where do I think was the best performance of Suge's career? Very recently, on Summer Madness 12, I believe he accomplished this feat. And that's why, if you're catching on, I do have Shotgun Suge's body bag win over Chess on Summer Madness 12 as the best performance of his career. Now, it was a choking Chess. I already know, because I know that people do this weird thing in battle rap where it's like, oh, but his opponent choked, so how is his best performance impressive? Who cares, man? Who cares what the opponent did? I'll never understand why you dock someone points because their opponent, they can't help what their opponent did. They showed up and they won, and his individual performance was absolutely phenomenal from first round to third. Chess throwing up, choking, we know what's going on over there, but right from the first round, coming straight out with the rhyme pocket, exposed chest like a sex tape, ectate, we little boy, we bear hug you. But some of just my favorite bars in here, one of my favorite Suge bars, if not my favorite Suge bar of all time, is knife in the middle of chest, he's Brock Lesnar. I love that bar. Very, very simple chest flip that I'm surprised no one had said before. The scheme he did in the second, can't remember for the life of me right now what the exact scheme was, but he did a little mini scheme in the second on chess, which, Shotgun Suge scheming from first round to third. I never needed the titles. To license my whip, something that I definitely butchered that. But the whip bar with the gun titles flipped to it was absolutely incredible, man. First to third, not only does he have the haymakers, he is the in-between writing, he is the jabbing. He literally has people pulling him off a chess like it's over. Please stop. The crowd is chanting, leave him alone. From the second round to the third round, it's an absolute murder, and just from the material wise, I think it stands up there with any round Suge has had. So when you take Summer Madness, you know what I'm saying? The opponent was obviously a top-tier opponent on a Summer Madness, the year he's having, and then just the content performance. It stands up, it checks every single box, and that's why I believe this monstrosity of a win that he had over chess is the best performance of Shotgun Suge's career. And that is my full breakdown of the top 5 Shotgun Suge performances of his career. You guys let me know down below in the comments what you think I may have missed. One battle off the top, which I didn't add, but I debated adding. So in case any of you are going to say it, I think his battle versus Big T, bounced it around for an honorable mention spot for a while. I personally thought, opponent-wise, although that wasn't SM and more of a Prime T, I did like what he did versus Briz and kind of variety of performances here. T-top, you know what I'm saying? Av, you couldn't leave that off the list. But if you wanted to add Big T in the honorable mentions, even the 5, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at you. But outside of that, let me know if there's any that you just think I missed or you think that I'm wrong about. Let me know if you don't like my takes on any of these battles, just to discuss this man's body of work. At this point, Suge's been in the game 12 years, and I just know for years, being one of those, you know what I'm saying? People always talk about the win-loss, his app record, things of that nature. But when you look at performances here, I'm seeing a lot of top-tier opponents, and I'm seeing a lot of great performances, and these are not the only top tiers he's beat. You know what I'm saying? This man, Suge, has beat Rock twice. It's crazy to say out loud, but it happened. You know what I'm saying? So if you really break down his catalog, there is a lot to appreciate here. We already talked earlier in the video about what he's done in terms of delivery and performance. And while Hitman and Shine, are they better performers? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Those are the two top performers of all time. But if we told the story of how performance developed in battle rap, there quite literally needs to just be a humongous section that talks about Shotgun Suge's contributions to that. But overall, one of the better talents of all time. Glad to see him even in year 12 having possibly the best year of his career. And just shout out to him and thank you for the body of work that you've given us, my man. But it's been J Smoke Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole shebang. And I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.